Live from RedZone Weather in Bruton, Alabama, with meteorologist Spinks Meganson. A severe weather update starts right now.
Significant tornadoes will be possible across parts of the Deep South on Wednesday. We have a level 4 out of 5 significant severe weather risk in place for parts of West Alabama. The rest of us across the region involved in the still serious level 3 out of 5 risk zone. That means we all have to have a way to hear urgent weather warnings as we get into Wednesday and into Wednesday night. We've got some changes to tell you about in terms of the timing of this system. Right now, we're looking at storms well to our west across parts of northern Louisiana where a tornado watch is in effect. Those thunderstorms probably going to remain to our west overnight, and then tomorrow, specifically in the afternoon and evening hours, is when our severe weather risk across our local area will set up. Tonight, a level 3 out of 5 severe weather risk for parts of Texas and Louisiana. That shifts to the east overnight, and we have a level 4 risk in place from Louisiana across much of southern Mississippi into southwest Alabama, with a fairly expansive level 3 risk surrounding that. And so what that means, we are expecting the potential for a few strong EF2 plus tornadoes on Wednesday, in addition to a chance of damaging straight-line winds, being fairly widespread across our local area. Here's how it may happen. This is the projected radar overnight into your Wednesday. Tomorrow morning, when we first wake up and get going, the morning commute probably will be dry in most spots across the region. Spotty showers likely to pop up in the mid-morning hours. Those will be moving to the north. By 11 a.m., we could have scattered to numerous storms across parts of southeast Mississippi, and then in the afternoon hours, that's when our severe weather risk will ramp up across South Alabama and Northwest Florida. That look is valid at 2 o'clock, and if this particular scenario happens to be right, we may have strong to severe thunderstorms moving across our region in the afternoon, and then perhaps another more potent round of storms in the evening hours. That look is valid at 5 o'clock, and what a mess. Scattered to numerous storms. Some of these may be severe. There may be just enough instability to support a few tornadoes, perhaps strong tornadoes, across parts of our area as we get into the evening hours. We all have to have a way to hear warnings tomorrow into tomorrow night as this whole mess of storms continues pushing to the east. The good news is, even though timing with this is a bit slower, it still looks like the majority of our region should be done with severe weather by the time we get to, say, 10 or 11 o'clock tomorrow night. Farther to the east across northwest Florida and south central Alabama, probably going to end up being more like 1 or 2 in the morning before we are completely done with this. Regardless of when we finish, we'll be with you every step of the way. And of course, if we happen to have tornado warnings, and I suspect that we probably will on Wednesday, we'll come on Facebook Live and YouTube Live to bring you the very latest. So it's a level 4 out of 5 risk day on Wednesday. Here's the local view, and it looks like the greater combination of atmospheric ingredients to support a few strong to severe storms going to come together across parts of West Alabama. You can see that we got parts of Mobile, northern Baldwin, western Escambia, Alabama, Monroe, Clark, Washington, Choctaw, Marengo, and Wilcox counties in that higher level 4 out of 5 risk. If you're basically south and east of I-65, coastal parts of Baldwin County, northwest Florida, south central Alabama, level 3 out of 5 risk. And let me caution, don't get so caught up on the specific colors and numbers that you forget that this entire map, I don't care where you are on the map, if you're in this view, you have a considerable risk of severe storms on Wednesday, including a chance of a few strong tornadoes. Here's a look at timing, and this has changed a bit since earlier updates, specifically from last night. Timing is a bit later, and in addition to being a bit later, the duration of the event also probably will be longer since storms are likely to be moving a bit slower. And so it looks like 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. for the western part of our local area on Wednesday, with the rest of us over here in the eastern side of the region from 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. And so storms going to be moving from west to east, and there will be a very slow progression of weakening with these storms while they cross our area. It may not matter too much if a storm's producing a tornado. It really doesn't matter if it's becoming weaker over time. A tornado is a tornado, and that's going to be the situation tomorrow. Greater risk over southeast Mississippi and southwest Alabama, but still a considerable level 3 out of 5 risk for northwest Florida and areas near Andalusia in south central Alabama. A significant tornado risk. We're also concerned about the potential for high winds as we get into your Wednesday and really into Wednesday evening as well. Large hail, flash flooding, quite a bit of lightning in these storms, and I am concerned about the potential for widespread power outages, particularly if we have one of these widespread damaging wind events across our region. Now, tonight is the time that you need to be charging the phones, the tablets, how you watch information, how you watch us on a smartphone in particular. It's a good thing to do tonight. Get those things ready and get those backup batteries ready just in case the power goes out. So tornadoes and damaging winds going to be the main concerns. Kind of breaking it down here. So we're getting into kind of the nerdy details here. Greater tornado risk over West Alabama, but we all have a tornado risk on your Wednesday. Significant tornadoes possible. This is fairly uncommon. Particularly to see pretty much the entire forecast area in this significant tornado probability zone that also includes a big swath of southern Mississippi and Louisiana. So just know if you happen to be traveling westbound, significant tornadoes possible in Louisiana and Mississippi as well on Wednesday. I'm also particularly concerned about damaging straight line winds. You see the trend here as well. Greater risk over West Alabama and southeast Mississippi, but we all have a risk. And it's been, I don't even know when the last time this was, that we've seen a significant tornado probability zone in combination with a substantial risk of damaging straight line winds. The areas here kind of hatched out are a little different, and this is based on the forecasters at the Storm Prediction Center. They mark up this hatched area to show where the greatest probability of 70 to 80 plus mile per hour winds are going to be. And in this case, from Louisiana through Mississippi and West Alabama is where they think that will be on Wednesday into Wednesday night. Large hail risk going to be maximized to our west. All right, so large hail issues more likely across Mississippi and Louisiana. Now let's get in there and look at some of the parameters and ingredients. And there's a bit of a difference here in some of the models. If there's one bit of good news, models are not tightly in agreement in terms of how far north this CAPE or convective available potential energy will go. You have to have some surface-based instability to really support strong to severe storms. But if this particular model happens to be right, there would be plenty of instability to support stronger storms region-wide. That look is valid at 11 o'clock tomorrow night. The whole tongue of CAPE kind of moves across our region. Same thing here with the low-level jet. One of the reasons we're at the level 4 out of 5 risk is this. There will be plenty of wind or shear for these storms to tap into. And so in addition to the tornado risk, we are concerned about damaging straight-line winds, particularly here as this low-level jet kind of moves across our region tomorrow in the evening hours. In addition to supportive parameters in terms of instability and also at the low-level jet, we're also seeing dew point values that are certainly conducive for severe thunderstorms, up around 70. Generally speaking, you want to see these numbers in excess of, say, 65 or 67. When you start getting values around 70 or 71, that lets us know that that air is ripe and supportive for severe thunderstorms to potentially happen. And it does look like, obviously, the greater dew points are going to happen closer to the immediate coast. And so I'm really concerned that we may see a situation where we see those ingredients to support severe weather kind of come together here closer to the coast. That remains to be seen, but we'll see how the outlook evolves over the next 12 to 24 hours. In addition to the severe weather risk, I'm also concerned about the potential for flash flooding, excessive rainfall. This is not the convective outlook, this is the excessive rainfall outlook. WPC, the Weather Prediction Center, has much of South Alabama, Central Alabama, and the central and southern parts of Mississippi involved in a moderate risk of flash flooding and heavy rainfall. And it's because of this. We're talking 3, 4, 5 inches of rain to our north across parts of Mississippi. For our local area, probably closer to say 2, 3, 4 inches of rain in most spots. There will be isolated higher amounts involved, especially if storms can train over the same areas. Don't be surprised by the time we get to say, 11 o'clock tomorrow night, some spots may have had 6 inches of rain. Now, I don't think that's going to be the norm. I think most of us are going to end up between, say, 2 and 4, but there will be isolated higher amounts involved with this. Now, let's look at another model. This is another view of the projected radar. This is different than the one I showed you at the beginning of the video. This shows more of a scenario where we could have supercell thunderstorms out ahead of a line of storms that would move through later on in the evening. And so basically from 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon to roughly 10 o'clock tomorrow night, we could have supercells in through here ahead of kind of the ending line of storms that works its way from west to east across our region. The big takeaway with all this, have a way to get warnings. This is a situation where we all need to be weather aware, and fortunately, some of this, at least, will occur in the daytime hours. Again, if there's any bit of good news, it does look like this will get out of here rather earlier on in the night hours. So hopefully we'll be done with this mess by midnight or 1 a.m. and we can all go to bed, get some sleep before we wake up on Thursday. By the way, better weather is coming on Thursday and Friday. So a level 4 out of 5 severe weather risk for West Alabama, southern Mississippi, parts of Louisiana. Surrounding that, a level 3 out of 5 risk. And there's Thursday. The whole thing will be to the east. The Masters in Augusta. There could be thunderstorms, severe thunderstorms on Thursday, in addition to a severe weather risk all the way up to Cape Hatteras, back down to Ocala and Gainesville in Florida. And by the way, again, nicer weather is coming on Friday into Saturday. The weekend looks nice, highs in the low 80s by the time we get there, but we got to get through this. Severe thunderstorms will be likely as we get into your Wednesday, particularly in the PM hours. Greatest threat going to be in the evening, probably say between 4 o'clock and 10 o'clock is going to be the 6-hour window when storms are most likely to happen, but storms may get going a bit before that and linger a bit after that as well. But that's going to be your core window, is really 4 to 10 tomorrow evening. I will have plenty of updates posted in the RedZone Weather app, not only tonight, but also throughout the day tomorrow ahead of this event. And I suspect we will be seeing one another quite a bit as we go into live coverage tomorrow when or if tornado warnings become required for parts of our local area here in southwest Alabama and northwest Florida. Again, timing is a bit later than previously advertised. Let me know if you have specific questions in the comments below. I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday evening. Next video coming by 7:15 a.m. with the very latest information. Have a good evening.
Be sure to find us across social media, and don't forget to download the free RedZone Weather app and set up your customized alerts. Please support our RedZone Weather sponsors who make our coverage possible every single day.